The feeling, to describe at least, is kind of surreal in a negative sense. As of today, back like I could not have imagined the scale. I tend to stay up quite late because nighttime is usually the most difficult time because, of course, during the nighttime you might expect some unprecedented attack. Every night you think, what's they gonna do now?
And tell us of the situation of your family at the moment. How are they getting on? Have they managed to get out? And obviously, you have lots of friends there.
They managed to get out of Kiev because our initial plan was to get our grandparents out. Um, and it was quite difficult because the traffic jams were immense. I have friends who stayed behind in Kiev and all of their life. You truly understand the value of messaging because before it was like you might lose contact for a couple of days, you know, they are fine, or you see them online, but you don't necessarily feel the need to check up on them because you know, like, peaceful times. But now it is a part of everyday routine to ask them, to ask like everybody, friends and family, how are they doing, a couple of times a day. And if I don't hear from them in like 5 minutes, then of course I start to worry. It's as little as 5 minutes. I have a friend who reported hearing. Um, he reported hearing something in the air, and then of course I got all agitated. I got all worried. I said, "Are you in a bomb shelter? Like, what are you doing outside? Like, you need to get in. You need to hide." And then, like, he proceeded to not reply to me for an hour. So of course, I every possible scenario is coming up to my head. I'm terrified, but actually, it just happens that the person fell asleep. It's also understandable. People are exhausted, and when they hear something in the middle of the night, it's they are so sometimes accustomed to the sound that, yes, Ukraine is not a part of NATO or like defensive alliance, but what is the true value of NATO if it doesn't defend like innocent civilians on the request of a government of a country? Because we do know that NATO implemented no-fly zone in the previous conflicts. Um, so I don't know. And of course, Russia has an upper hand in aircrafts. So our army is doing fine on the ground, but it's the sky that we're worried about because those airstrikes, like airstrike yesterday on Mariupol's maternity hospital, is absolutely barbaric. It's absolutely, I don't even know what to say. Um, there is no words to describe it.
It's hard to imagine the level of evil to do something like that. You're obviously here in London as an LSE student. What's your situation? How do you see your positioning in terms of whether you're going to stay indefinitely or look to try and go back towards where your family might be, as you say, having left Kiev?
Well, I really hope to return home and really hope to return home soon. As someone also mentioned, we have really great, like, Easter tradition, but of course, we're not talking about celebration, we're talking about like human lives here. People trying to organize green corridors, humanitarian corridors, and they being shot at. It's all the new level of barbaric and violence, or level of mercilessness. Um, so answering this question, yes, I hope to come back soon to a peaceful Ukraine or like I hope for situation to stabilize. And it's an kind of widespread sentiment currently among students, even among LSE students. The current sentiment of many of my classmates as well is try to, not try to, but our willingness to go back and help to rebuild the country.